I'm going to talk about sex in today's video. Now, if you're not comfortable, stop watching now. But before we get started, I'm a coach for men and women, which puts me in a unique position. I get insight into how men think and the reasons they do what they do, and the same for women. I mean, obviously I'm a woman, so I know how we think a lot of the time. But it's really interesting to see often that there's a mismatch between the two. The intent's good, but behavior doesn't quite land the way they want it to. So I'm going to talk about sex, and it's a very tricky subject, especially for those that have come out of a failed relationship. I find men particularly, and women, may have had a very unsatisfying sex life. They may have been rejected sexually within their relationship, or even the person they're with doesn't want the same type of sex that they do. And they don't want that to happen again. So what they do is when they go into the dating situation, men might say sexual comments to test the water to see if the person they're talking to is actually going to be compatible with them. The problem is it doesn't land so well with women. And guys, I want to explain that to you. But women, before we get started, it's really interesting to note that you may think all guys just want sex, but sometimes guys might test the water that way. What I found is particularly older guys, they want a sexual connection, but it's not as powerful as it was when they were in their 20s and 30s. It's still important, but they really value the connection every bit as much as you are. They're just doing that test. But guys, one of the reasons that it doesn't land so well with women, I'm going to explain that to you. A lot of women, when they become single, they'll go online. Now, the online dating experience is such a different experience for women as it is for men. Women go online and will often be overwhelmed by a large number of guys. And unfortunately, there's great guys on there, but there's a lot of guys who lead with sex and sexual I can't even say the word, sexual comments. There's dick pics, there's suggestive stuff, there's a whole pile of filth that women get. And they get tired of it. They just want to meet a guy that they can have a connection with. So when guys, and not only that, the experience that women hear in the media about online dating and dating in general is quite negative. You hear the horror stories. I mean, recently there was the Four Corners Triple J expose on Tinder and how a lot of women were getting raped on the first dates. And they also had instances where rapists have put a different picture up with the explicit target to rape women. So you can see how this can be a very scary environment for a woman. So when you come along with your suggestive testing comments, you sound like every other sleazy guy they come across. Now, as a woman could be naughty, they could love sex every bit as much as you do, but they don't want to talk to a complete stranger about sex. It doesn't feel comfortable for a lot of people. And I'm sure if you wanted to end up in a relationship with someone, you probably don't want the woman that's going to talk to everyone about sex. So bear that in mind. What you want to be able to do is banter, have fun conversations that build a connection, but you're not leading with sex. I guarantee you're going to get a better reaction. You can talk when about some of the sexual stuff as you're building that connection, and that can happen sooner than you think it can. A couple of dates when people know, like, and trust you, you can say so much more than you can to a stranger. So when you realize that for some of women it's about safety, they don't know you from a bar of soap. They don't know you from Adam. Sorry, I'm using all these cliches, right? They don't know you. They don't know that you're a good guy and you're just testing them. They hear this too much. They see this too much. So it doesn't land how you intend it to. Women want to feel safe, and it takes them a lot longer to do than it does for guys. I think guys know fairly quick how interested they are in women. It takes women, guys can know after 2 days. It takes women 14 days. So stop being in a rush. Build that connection, build the banter, and you're going to get a much better response, and you'll still find out if the woman is compatible with you. It's just a strategy that works a lot better, okay? You know, it's, again, none of this is to criticize, because I absolutely understand the intent behind some of the behavior, but because women are exposed to so much of this dirty stuff, you just look like every other guy rather than the good, genuine guy that you are. And you know, sex is important, but you know, I'm sure if someone from 50 years ago landed here and now, they would be shocked by what's commonplace and what's, you know, the behavior that's out there. Anyway, that's it from me. I'm Debbie Rivers. I'm a relationship coach, and I hope whatever you're doing today, you're kind to yourself. Thank you. I can't turn my video off.